The road looks harmless in the daylight, a thin ribbon of dirt and gravel cutting through the trees outside of Jonesboro, Illinois. But when night falls, Doug Hill changes. Locals say the air grows heavy. Headlights flicker, the woods start whispering. Then, in the distance, the rattle of chains, the clatter of wooden wheels, a wagon barrels down the hill, horses pounding, a driver shouting for you to move. You pull over to let it pass, only there's nothing there. Today, we're taking a midnight drive down one of southern Illinois' most haunted roads, a stretch of dirt soaked in blood, betrayal, and something that refuses to rest. This is a story of Doug Hill, where the past still rides at night. To understand Doug Hill, we have to go back to the days after the Civil War, a time when the country was trying to heal, but old grudges were still raw. Jonesboro, Illinois sat on the fault line. Union loyalists and Confederate sympathizers living side by side, pretending at peace. It was a powder keg waiting for a spark, and the spark came in the form of Provost Marshal Welch, a federal officer sent to hunt down deserters and enforce the law. He was known to be tough, proud, well, maybe too proud, and one autumn evening in 1865, Welch rode down Doug Hill to arrest a man accused of treason. He never made it back. What happened next depends on who you ask. Some say Welch was ambushed by two men hiding behind a fallen log. Others claim a wagon blocked the road, forcing him to stop. But everyone agrees on one thing. When the gunfire started, Welch's horse reared and the officer fell dead. His body riddled with bullets, the killers vanished into the woods. No one was ever arrested, and Doug Hill, once just another country road, became cursed. Not long after, travelers began to report strange sounds on the hill after dark. First came the creak of wooden wheels behind them, then the metallic clank of chains, then the thunder of hooves rushing straight toward them. They'd pull aside, hearts racing, but nothing ever passed. No light, no wagon, only the echo fading into the trees. A few swore they saw it, an old wagon racing down the hill, sparks flying where iron met stone. The driver's face was hidden or gone, and locals began to whisper that it was Welch, still chasing his killers in the dark. By the 1880s, Doug Hill had a reputation. Farmers refused to travel it after sundown. Preachers sprinkled holy water on its curves. By morning, every drop had dried in a red, rust-colored stain. That's interesting. Even animals refused to pass. Horses reared, dogs howled, and anyone who dared walk it after dark said the same thing. They felt watched, followed, and never truly alone. One man described hearing boots in the gravel behind him, keeping perfect pace with his own. When he stopped, so did they. Some say the ghost wagon is just a story. Others claim Welch himself still walked the road, headless, still gripping the badge that once marked his duty. Farmers found muddy boot prints on their doorsteps. Others woke to find barn doors open and hoof prints circling their fields, but no horse in sight. Over the years, the story changed shape. Was Welch seeking revenge or forgiveness? Maybe he wasn't haunting Doug Hill out of rage, but because no one ever answered for what was done to him. Even now, Doug Hill has a way of unsettling people. Drivers say their engines stall for no reason. Headlights dim and flicker. Some spot a lantern swinging in the distance, moving too fast, like being carried by something running. One local told the Southern Illinoisian paper that a glowing wagon followed his car for nearly a mile before disappearing into thin air. He sold his car 2 days later. I would sell it and be done with it and never go on that road again. Just saying. By day, Doug Hill is quiet, a sleepy stretch of farmland and forest. But the people who live nearby say the silence has weight. Stand there after dark and you can feel it pressing down, the tension, the unfinished story. The grief of a man who died alone, betrayed by those he thought he could trust. Maybe that's why the haunting never stopped. Because what killed Welch wasn't just murder, it was betrayal. And betrayal has a long echo. Here are 3 creepy facts to haunt your day. Provost Marshal Welch's murder remains officially unsolved, even after multiple confessions and accusations were recorded. Headless ghost sightings are some of the most common apparitions tied to violent death, especially ambushes and executions. The Doug Hill haunting inspired ghost tours in the 1970s, though many guides quit after reporting cold spots and phantom gunshots on the hill. This story feels like a warning, not just about ghosts, but about what happens when justice is left unfinished. Welch spent his life chasing others for the law. Now he's the one forever chasing. Maybe Doug Hill isn't haunted because he can't move on. Maybe it's haunted because we never set things right. A story like this reminds me that pain, when ignored, doesn't fade, it festers. And when a wound like that stays open long enough, it starts to speak. So if you ever find yourself on a back road near Jonesboro and you hear the rattle of wheels or a horse snorting in the dark, maybe don't look behind you. Some stories are better left in the rearview mirror. Facts. From war to vengeance to restless justice, Doug Hill is proof that violence never really ends where it starts. Just keep rolling like a wagon in the dark. Until next time, stay curious and always, always stay haunted.